Today, we're going to talk all about manifesting money by doing less. So, this is something that is a common misconception that we have to work really hard and do all of the things in order to be successful and in order to make money. And it's just not the truth. The opposite is true. By doing less and focusing more on one specific thing instead of a million things, that is how you actually make a difference and start manifesting abundance and success and really getting known in whatever it is you want to do and getting clarity. And so when you're trying to do everything at once, which is so common, you spread yourself too thin. And that is exactly what I found myself doing this year, just feeling very overwhelmed and spreading myself thin, trying to do too many things at once, trying to do everything instead of really focusing on, okay, what's working, what's not working, and then leaning more in to what's really working. And it goes back to when I was in sales, right? I was in corporate sales for 12 years. And there is this common formula, and it can be applied really to pretty much anything in life. But we're just going to talk about business, manifesting money, that kind of thing for right now. And that formula is that 80% of your success is going to come from 20% of the work. So in sales, we always said that 80% of the business came from our top 20% of customers, and that was true. And so you would be better off focusing just on that top 20% and going all in on them and making sure they're incredibly happy than trying to visit every single customer and make every single customer happy. And so the same thing goes to any industry, any type of business, any type of income. If you are trying to give your focus and your energy and your attention to every single thing, you're going to fail. You're going to slow down. You're going to be stuck in this loop. Maybe you do okay, but you're never going to do great. It's when you really dial into that one thing that is your best thing and you go all in on that and you really get that going. That's when you're going to find abundance. And at that point, that's where you can slowly start adding other things to the mix. So, um, I think that trying to spread your energy across a bunch of different things, you're really not energetically magnetizing any of them, right? So this could be you have too many different programs going on, or you have too many messages, too many funnels, too many topics. And what that can lead to is a lot of unclear like messaging, a lot of confusion for yourself and for other people, right? There's not a lot of clarity there. Um, and I like to use the analogy of like when you're driving a car and you get into a car accident, okay? It's like let's say your car hits a tree. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is cuz like this was ingrained in me as a kid. Cuz my dad was a fireman and he always went with the ambulance to like car accidents and he was like never ever hit a tree. It's better to hit anything else, a car, a building, anything else besides a tree. And he would explain to me that when you hit a tree, all of the energy is focused at that one point in this tree. And so instead of the impact like spreading out across the car, it's all going to be focused in that one energetic point that hits the tree. And that's where you wrap your car around the tree. Like it'll total your car, it'll be a horrible wreck. But if you spread that wreck out evenly across your car by hitting another car, for example, not that you want either to happen, but you know what I mean? If you're in that situation, then, it's a fender bender. You might have a dent. You can still have damage, but your whole car isn't going to be crushed. And that always stuck out to me because that was like such a big thing with him because almost daily, like that's what he would see when they went to these ambulance calls. So when you think about how everything is energy, think about this with your life, with your goals, with your business. If you pick just one thing, like the tree, and you're pouring all of your energy into that, you will crush that goal, right? Because all of your energy is focused on that. If you are spreading your energy across, let's say, 3 things, 5 things, 10 things, instead of crushing each one of those, it's going to be like a little bit of progress here, a little bit there. You know what I mean? Like it's going to spread out. And that just kind of leads to an average, it leads to mediocrity over time. So, how can we get more focused? So, this is where I'm at, right? We're in the middle of the year. And in the middle of the year, I always think about the end of the year, like, because the first half of the year just flew by. I don't even know how we are halfway through the year, but here we are. And I know the second half of the year is going to go by even faster because as soon as school starts and then you have all the holidays, it's like it goes by in the blink of an eye. And next thing you know, you wake up and it's New Year's Day and like you're no further along with your goals than you were in the middle of the summer. So, what I'm going to do and what I'm going to challenge everybody that's listening to do is focus on one thing, just one thing from here until the end of the year. And you're going to go all in on this one thing. Your goal is going to be to absolutely crush this goal, to do everything you can to make this goal as big and successful as possible. And this is going to feel counterintuitive, right? Because we're so trained to multitask, to feel like we have to run around like chickens with our heads cut off if we want to be successful. But that's not the case. That's a way, right? There's lots of different paths, but that's not a way that feels good energetically. And we're all about manifesting with ease, right? Having freedom in our life, having fun, aligning with our goals, not forcing our goals. So when you focus on one thing, it actually can kind of like clear your plate a little bit, give you a little bit more freedom, but also get you really in tune with that one goal. So you can really align towards it and have fun with it and be creative with it. It's hard to be creative when you're multitasking and you're trying to do 85 different things, right? So you're going to focus on this one specific thing. Now, it is so much easier said than done. And like I said, I'm years into my business. I still have issues with this. And I had to get very intentional and create a very specific funnel that kind of sells all of my products for me so that I could just really go all in on the one thing that I'm like super passionate about right now. Okay. So first of all, we have to think about eliminating distractions. There's constant distractions. Social media is probably the biggest one, right? It's like the shiny object syndrome where we see someone else doing something online as we're scrolling and now we feel like we have to do that too. We feel like we're falling behind. We need to catch up. We're missing out on something. And that's where it can have such a negative impact because you could feel really great energetically. And then all it takes is scrolling on social media for 5 minutes. And all of a sudden you feel like you're falling behind and you're not good enough. And there's other people that are doing more. And maybe you need to do more. And maybe you need to try this, that, and the other thing. So social media, like my big thing with that is I'm always going to create before I consume. And that's been a rule for years now. And so I really don't consume because by the time I'm done creating the content I need, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm logging off and I've got other things to do. Um, and so I might see a couple of posts from like the people that I follow all the time and engage with that. But other than that, like I am not gonna just scroll endlessly and be constantly distracted. I'm going to first take action towards my goal and do what I'm there to do, which is create content. Okay. I'm not there to pass the time. I'm there to, create content and put my stuff out into the world. So this is something that you really need to ask yourself and really be honest with yourself because I would guess that every single person, including myself, is spending way too much time with distractions. It could be distracting yourself with scrolling through social media, distracting with emails that really aren't that important, that can wait. And just other things like that, that at the end of the day really don't have a meaningful impact in your life. And so kind of stop and think, okay, where is this dead time going? that I could be doing something that's going to help me with my goals versus something that's really not going to move the bar, but that I'm spending a ton of time doing every day. And so for me, it's like social media and emails are so not important to my business, but they take up a lot of time if I let them, if I'm not super, super intentional. So start with that. And that's something like in working with so many different women who are starting businesses, starting podcasts, every single person wants to go viral on social media. They spend all of their time and energy on social media. I need more followers. I need to grow my social media. When at the end of the day, it really doesn't move the needle very much. I mean, follower growth and likes doesn't equate to sales necessarily. I would say most of the time. Only about 4% of your audience is even seeing your content. And so I see people pour so much into it, and they will. They'll start growing, they'll start getting followers. Sometimes they might even get a viral video or post. And then they're like, let down because they're like, where's the sales? Why aren't these people turning into customers? Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe they don't like my stuff. No, it's just you're spending all your time, you're putting all your eggs in the social media basket when there's a lot of other things that if you just focused your time and effort a little bit differently, it could make all the difference in the world. So here is my plan, and I'm inviting you to come along with me because like I said, I struggle with focusing as much as the next person. And I know that I have to prime my subconscious, right? You really have to prime your subconscious and train it to focus on what that specific goal is that you want without constantly, getting distracted left and right. So I've put together a subliminal to do this. I've put together a journal, a guided journal to really get clear on what is that thing? What is that one thing that you're really passionate about? It's really your purpose. It's what you're meant to be doing. What even is that thing? I put together a guided journal on that. And all you have to do to get it, because I think this is just the easiest way to get something when you're listening to a podcast, is text me. So you're going to text the word focus to the number 929-642-0103. And when you do that, I'll send you the subliminal, I'll send you the guided journal. But then I really want to keep it going with like just little daily pep talks, affirmations, like things to just continually reinforce this concept that you just need to focus on that one thing. Like, don't get distracted. Just get back to focusing on the one thing. And I think that if we do that between now and the end of the year, the results will be incredible. But we need that constant reminder and reinforcement in order to make it happen. So that's what I'm planning on doing for myself. And again, like you can join me to do that. So I'll give you the number one more time. Just text focus to 929-642-0103. And then that subliminal that I'm going to send you, it's also in the Manifest It Now app. So you just go under the Manifest Your Dream Career section. And that's the subliminal that I'm going to send you. So you can listen to it there as well if that's easier. Okay, the second thing, and this is often missed, is a clear body leads to a clear mind. Okay. I am at the point where I've completely realized the mind body connection. And after dealing with brain fog and not feeling focused, having anxiety, like all of those things that are huge in distracting you. They're physical things that physically manifest in your body, but they distract your mind. And so I've really started to dive in on like, how can I address this in a natural way? As I told you guys, I shared that episode on mental health and taking like prescription drugs and how I just decided I don't want to do that anymore. I want to take a natural approach to this. I don't want to be addicted to any like pharmaceuticals. And so, as you know, I've said many times on the podcast, I'm still taking Magic Mind daily. And that's really like it's a non-negotiable. I took it this morning right before the podcast, and my husband's like, what exactly is in that? Like, can we make that at home? Um, what ingredient does it have? Like it has everything. Like it literally has everything. Um, and so what it is, like it has the mushroom nootropics and adaptogens, but then it also has all of the things to help your body function well, like vitamin C, vitamin B, vitamin D, like all those types of things. Um, and so it's pretty much like everything in one shot. And what it is, it's a mental performance shot. That is literally what it's called, a mental performance shot. It helps you to get focused, to get mentally clear, to be productive, but like to have that feeling of like motivation. And you all know what I'm talking about because we've all been there where you know you should do something, but you don't feel motivated. This really gets you into like that motivated flow state where you can just sit down and do whatever it is you want to do, and it's going to feel like minutes passed when really like it could be hours. Um, so it does that, but it also handles like helps you handle stress and anxiety and all the things that I suffer from and have suffered from, my entire life. So a few things, like number one, it's not a quick fix. This isn't something you're going to take it like one day and it's just like boom, it's going to fix everything in your life. Like that's not what it is. That's more like an energy shot that's like a quick fix, right? This is not an energy shot. So it's not like going to rev you up and give you all this energy and then you crash later. It's actually the opposite. So, like, you take it with your coffee in the morning. It's not a coffee replacement. You take it with your coffee in the morning. Thank God, because I am a coffee drinker. I love it. And I don't ever want to get rid of my coffee. But you take it with your coffee and it has L-theanine in it. And basically, what that does is it makes your coffee last all day instead of like crashing in the afternoon. And then the other ingredients in it, they build up over time. So it's like giving you this stable focus and energy over the long term. So it's really more of a lifestyle change. And that's why I tell people like do a little experiment with it and take it every single day for a week and then for 2 weeks and then a month and just really notice, like be conscious of what's happening, how you feel different, how you're performing different. And you will see a drastic change, but it builds over time. So it's not like a change you're going to see on day one, but between day one and day seven, huge. Between day one and day 30, like insane. So that's really what it's all about. And it has like every ingredient that it has over 200 scientific studies backing it. So like I wouldn't be promoting it and putting it in my body daily if I didn't feel 100% like this is absolutely safe and effective to take. So like I said, I take it every morning. If you do want to try it, there is a limited time offer that you can use now, which will get you up to 48% off of your first subscription or 20% off, like if you're just doing a one-time purchase. So you can go to magicmind.com and use code LOA Tribe 20. Or you can just go to magicmind.com/LOA Tribe 20 and the discount code and everything's like already applied at checkout. So you don't have to add in any code or anything. So that's like the second thing that I'm really like, this is the one thing that I'm going to focus on and make sure I take it daily because I know that it helps with my focus, my motivation, all that stuff. The third thing is picking just one goal. And when I say one goal, I mean like pick one metric or one program or one goal in your business or your life that you're going to go all in on. And of course, we all have a ton of goals, but pick the one that you're intuitively feeling drawn to, the one that you're passionate about, not the one that you think is going to be easier or do well. Do the one that you really want to do, that you really feel deep down like, if I could just do this one thing, I would be so happy. And then pick one platform. Okay, so one goal, one platform, and one product if you're a salesperson or a business owner, like just one course, one product. So again, I say don't pick social media as the platform. That's just my personal opinion. if you're going to pick a platform, what I suggest and recommend, number one is podcasting. Number two is having your own app. Number three is running ads. That's what I would suggest, all of those before you even touch social media. But podcasting would be number one. And that's the platform that I'm going all in on, podcasting. And so we're going to do this for the next 6 months. So the second half of the year, you're going to have your one goal that you're going to talk about and put your energy in on one platform and create one product out of it. If you don't have a product already, create one product around this thing that you're super passionate about and just see what happens when you can focus on that for just 6 months. And 6 months, it seems like a long time, but look at how fast the first half of the year went. The second half is going to go by even quicker. So we're not asking for a whole lot here, but just trust me on this. It is far better than trying to do a million things at once. So I am going to get back to the one thing that I set out to do from the very beginning, which is helping women manifest a life they don't need a vacation from. Still to this day, I talk to people and they're like, yeah, that thing that you always say, manifest a life you don't need a vacation from. That's what made me want to work with you. That's what made me start listening to your podcast. That's what made me, enroll in your courses. So I really want to get back to like, that is the thing. And what does that mean? It means building a life of purpose and fulfillment. And so taking that thing, taking your purpose, which by the way, you uncover that in the guided journal that I have, and taking that thing that you absolutely love, that thing you're meant to share with the world, and turning it in to a business. So monetizing it. So that way, like, I truly believe if you follow your purpose, the abundance will follow. But why doesn't it happen? Again, like what I said earlier with social media, you get distracted. You're trying to do a gazillion different things instead of focusing on that one thing you really want to do. So I'm getting back to helping women manifest a life they don't need a vacation from. So what I did, I already did this, is I took my app course. You guys know it as Digital CEO, but it's the course where you create your own app in 6 weeks. And then I took my new course, my podcast course that teaches you how to create a podcast, and I put them together. Okay, so it's just going to be one program. Instead of having all these different programs, it's going to be one program for women who want to manifest a life they don't need a vacation from. Women that want to step into their purpose, share it with the world, monetize it, build a business of freedom and abundance. Like, this is the one place for it, and just go all in on it and put everything in there. Like, you want to run ads, you want to start a podcast, you want to start an app, you need a funnel, like everything is in this course, right? So for the next 6 months, that is what I'm focused on, that course, and driving women to that, because I know the women that go through that, that is what helps them to actually manifest the life they don't need a vacation from. That's all. That's the one thing I'm going to focus on. And this platform, this podcast right here, is where I'm going to focus my time and energy. Why? Because I love it. I love it. If I could podcast 100% of the time, I absolutely would. And I'm starting to get there because I have been focusing way less on social media and way more on podcasting. So that's my goal. Focus on the podcast, focus on the digital CEO program. And my goal, my one goal between now and the end of the year is to have 100 women join. So by the end of 2024, I want 100 women in digital CEO. So now I want you to look at whatever your goal is and set it. Like, what is your one goal? What's the one product, the one thing you're going to focus on? And what's the one platform you're going to pick? So, one goal, one product, one platform. That is how you stay super focused. And that is how you're going to see drastic results by the end of the year. Instead of mediocre results or incremental improvements, you're going to see a drastic change between now and the end of the year. One goal, one product, one platform. All right. So again, if you want to follow along with me, go to your text app and text me the word focus, 929-642-0103. We can cheer each other on. I'm going to try to help, like, everything I'm doing to stay focused, whether it's an affirmation, a reminder, something I came across, I'm putting it in this text group. Um, just to hold myself accountable, but also, like, if I'm going through it, why not bring everyone with me? It's a lot more fun than doing it alone. So I hope you join. I hope you follow along. And I really hope you stick to this because I think that this is where, you leap, you make a quantum leap. And the results you see in a short period of time is when you really get dialed in, focused, and clear. That's when you manifest with ease. That's where you're following your heart, you're following your passion, and abundance follows. So I hope that all makes sense. I know that was a lot to throw at you. Um, but if you're with me, great. I'll see you in the texting chat. And thanks for tuning in. I'll see you back here next week.